The internet is no longer a tool or a device. The problems are no longer just that it's an easier or quicker way for someone to access inappropriate material. Today, the internet is a culture, it's a psychology, it's a way of life.
So the community is really against the idea of technology. You will not find a TV, a computer, or phones in houses within the community.
Just a few miles from Manhattan, in communities in New York and neighboring New Jersey, exists a world where smartphones, televisions, and computers are forbidden, and where terms such as hashtags, tweets, and Facebook likes are unknown. It's a life essentially untouched by technology, banned by leaders of the Hasidic communities, where putting up a fortress against the outside world is seen as essential to their very survival. In 2012, Hasidic leaders held a summit in the Mets baseball stadium in New York to condemn the internet and smartphones. The event was a watershed moment, a call to arms against the evils of the internet that still lives on today.
This is reprogramming our way of thinking, our emotions, our relationships, our hashkafas, our sensitivity, our very life. It's changing who we are.
Bina Aaron and Chaim Fishman grew up in the Hasidic community in Brooklyn, New York. Each decided to leave the community at a young age to escape the pressure to conform to the rigid Hasidic way of life. They describe the rules about technology.
The community is actually pretty against technology. So for example, you're not allowed to have generally a phone before you get married. There's actually this whole big movement within the community to abstain from internet. So no one is allowed to have internet or even a computer in their house. But in general, any kind of just internet is forbidden, if it's not for business.
You're basically in a bubble, so boys don't have access to pictures of girls that they would usually have if you go on the internet. They don't know about dating, they don't know, we don't know about Facebook. There's no way to communicate with people outside the little circle within the community. So by not allowing people access to the internet, they're basically assuring that you can't really get out.
I have to use it for communications, because part of my agenda is public relations. I used to use email for whatever. I use text. Right. That's fine. Right. But there are certain responses that I have to get through Twitter or Facebook, certain ads that have to go on there that would not make it any other way unless you turn the clock back 10 years. But don't forget, Twitter and Facebook are restricted. You can't post anything, so it's not that dangerous. The worry is that you might get on other sites. Oh, I'm not worried about, thank God, Twitter and Facebook have guidelines. So you can't even spell the four-letter word unless you put a star on a stripe, whatever. Oh, that's perfect. That's those, even Instagram, you can't go crazy on Instagram.
Like the fly who enters the web of the spider. What am I doing wrong? I'm on the internet, there's nothing, I haven't done a single isser. Little strands of the spider's web, they don't even equal a fraction of the weight of the fly. But another strand, and another strand. And before you know it, he's caught in the web, in the net.
The Hasidic community suffered disproportionate losses in the Holocaust, making it determined to cloister the religious teachings, language, and customs when they came to the United States. Preservation means keeping out messages, ideas, and temptations that Hasidic leaders say lurk on television and the internet. Posters seen around Brooklyn blamed mothers with illegal smartphones as the reason some young Hasids defected from the community. Bina explains that she didn't even know what television was until she moved out.
Oh no, TV is the worst thing. You can't have a TV. If the schools find out, or the synagogues or the rabbis find out that you have a TV, you're kind of kicked out. I didn't know that you can watch news on TV. It was always through radio or whatever I had on my limited phone.
People say the Gedolim don't understand the internet. They don't know what it's about. It may be true, but they understand life. They understand the subtleties and the trends, and they understand that the internet, the mindset is the opposite of Kedusha. The instant gratification leaves no room for perseverance, for endurance, for coping, the very qualities that enabled us to survive as a people, the very qualities that a bacher needs to become a Talmid Chacham.
Some Hasids covertly acquire smartphones and are on social media under false names. As the pool of technology grows stronger, Hasidic leaders are cracking down more firmly, threatening those suspected of straying with having their kids expelled from school and stigmatizing them within their communities.